Skip's going here. Skip's flying today is a highly modified pin special that he calls Prometheus. Into Prometheus biplane, the highly modified 400 horsepower pin special. Hanging off the propeller, again, this is a composite 3-blade propeller. Now he's doing a rolling 360-degree turn. Extremely tough to do in the cockpit. Extremely tough. I can't stress how tough that is. Skip also holds the distinction of being the first pilot to fly under, get this, under a jumping motorcycle at an air show. He loves to fly night vehicle racing cars and trucks on the runway. He spends a lot of time racing the jet vehicles in the air show industry. Done a ribbon transfer from the back of a pickup truck to the wing while traveling at 70 miles an hour in knife-edge flight. Now that crackling sound you hear, that's the propeller jets going supersonic. That rumble is the engine, the crackling sound of the propeller jets going supersonic, literally breaking the sound barrier and making their own little sonic moves. Look at the roll rate as Skip comes down. Lines up on the runway. Back about 10 times his normal body weight, transfers that energy all the way left, rolling down, rolling right, all the way back, stops it, continues to go skyward. Okay, now watch the transition from Prometheus, from a biplane into a helicopter as he hangs from the prop in the torque roll, backing it up, tail first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lengths of airplane. Mr. Skip Stewart, the Prometheus. Cameras ready from the left, folks. Again, Mr. Skip Stewart in the Prometheus, the 400 horsepower, highly modified Pit Special, designed by Curtis Pitts in the 60s back in Florida. Flies on the edge of a stall. Slow rolling, 200 feet above the ground, in full control. Mr. Skip Stewart. How amazing is that, folks? Now, our pilots have what we call aerobatic restraints in here. We have 2 lap belts. One has a ratchet on it, like a cargo ratchet. And we ratchet ourselves in, we become one with the airplane. People say, well, how tight does it have to be? When you feel your hip bone starting to fracture, you're almost tightened up. Okay, get your cameras ready again, folks. From the right, Mr. Skip Stewart. Airplane. This doesn't mean he needs a ring job. This doesn't mean he abuses his engine. Look at him hanging from the prop. Hanging from the prop. 0 airspeed, hanging off that beautiful 3-blade classic propeller. The Prometheus biplane. In the skilled hands of Mr. Skip Stewart. Nice flat turn. Not even how about this? Totally cross control. Completely flat in his arc. I hope you folks appreciate what you're seeing here today. This is some of the most extreme biplane flying you will see any place, anywhere, by anybody. Mr. Skip Stewart in the Prometheus biplane. Again, this is a 400 plus horsepower, highly modified Pit Special, the Prometheus. Now, if you enjoyed what you just saw Skip do, you don't want to go away because Skip's going to be back up in a little while. Not only is he going to be by himself, he's going to be called Tin Stick. That's T-I-N-S-T-I-N. So Tin Sticks as in 10 sticks of dynamite. That's what happens when you put both of their aircraft in the sky together. Don't want to miss that. Yesterday they did dual ribbon cuts. We had ribbons about 20 feet above the ground. They were both inverted at each other, going at each other, and cut the ribbon at the same exact time, coming in opposite directions. So you don't want to miss that. That's going to finish up our show this afternoon. In the meantime, we have got one heck of a lot of flying to go. Starting next with Mr. Corey Wells. He's flying this big, beautiful, dark Sea Fury out here. This comes to us today from Sanders Aircraft in Ione, California. Brian and Dennis Sanders own and operate this aircraft. Corey Wells is one of their race pilots. And when you say race pilot, yeah, we're talking about the National Championship Air Races each and every September right over the hill in Reno, Nevada. This year will be September 12th through the 15th. It's Reno Race Week. It starts a little before that. It's open to the public the 12th through the 15th. The world's fastest motorsport. This is where we take our big iron, unlimiteds. We actually have jet classes. We have biplane classes. We have Formula One classes. We have sport classes, which are the home-built aircraft. Okay, right in front of your crowd, right now, Mr. Skip Stewart. this biplane. You can't hear him, but he can see. He's probably got the canopy out, the arms waving. Give him a wave back. Wave your hats, wave your hands, wave your kids. Let Skip Stewart know how much you appreciated that, because trust me, I cannot stress to you exactly what you saw. It was unbelievable flying. And that is over Denver, Chapel, California. As he does the little wave to you, the bow. There's his hand out there now. How beautiful is that little biplane, folks? That is an extreme biplane. Wow. What a way to start a show. Listen, Pemberton, Rex Pemberton, Kirby Chambliss, Skip Stewart, and now we're going to go to our heavy iron, Corey Wells, flying the Hawker Sea Fury. The Hawker Sea Fury was the last piston engine fighter of the British fleet air arm, and one of the best of its type. The British Hawker Sea Fury is the direct descendant of the Hawker Typhoon and Hawker Tempest fighters in World War II. Only 860 Hawker Sea Furies and Hawker Furies were produced from 1949 to 1953. Now I want you to pay close attention to the smoke trail you see on the wingtips of Corey's aircraft here. These were invented by the late Frank Sanders, and they were designed, not only, they actually work pretty good for air show work, but they were designed for experimental testing of wingtips to find out the best wingtips to put. Most of your jet airliners have used this. Now watch the little ghost shadows and the little smoke rings that will make as he comes through. Again, this is the British Hawker cubic engine, right engine, radial engine, two-way radial engine. But look at the ghost shadow, and how cool is that, folks? Hope you guys are getting photos of that. Again, these smoke generators are self-contained. They're on each wingtip. They were invented by Frank Sanders, and again, while they weren't great for the air show work, they were literally intended for military, for the air show work, the military wing testing, the development of the best wings on fighters and the most efficient wings on airliners. So next time you get your little your Southwest airline, you look out, you see those winglets sticking up on the end of the wing. Those were developed using smoke generators like this to come up with the most effective wingtip that actually makes the wing most efficient, doesn't lose the air that bleeds over the tips. Okay, from the left, Mr. Corey Wells and a gorgeous Argonaut, the British Sea Fury, owned and maintained by Now the Hawker Sea Fury stock came with what they called a Bristol Centaurus engine. And this was a sleeve valve engine. The Bristol Centaurus is a 3,270 cubic inch radial engine, made 2,470 horsepower, but they were extremely hard to maintain and even harder to find parts for. So you see very few of these. The Sanders family still has one of those in their fleet, and that will be at Reno in September as well. So you'll be able to hear the beautiful sounds of the Bristol Centaurus engine. But in the interest of maintenance, as well as the high-performance engine in these, most of the guys have switched over to the Wright 3,350 cubic inch engine. Here we go. This is what Reno sounds like. Listen to the sounds. We talked about this is a Wright 3350 engine. Depending on the configuration, they make anywhere from 2,200 horsepower to 3,800 horsepower. At full race configuration over at Reno, the exhaust pressure alone, you know the exhaust pipes are coming out, they're pointing backwards. The exhaust pipes alone make equal to 700 horsepower. Okay, now you can imagine if you've got exhaust pipes pushing exhaust out the back equal to 700 horsepower of thrust, that exhaust pipe itself is being forced forward if the thrust is going backwards. So for about 2 weeks after Reno race week, anybody running one of these airplanes, they spend about 2 weeks re-welding the exhaust pipes from all the cracks on the manifolds and the flanges from all the pressure that's being forced out. So that gives you an idea of just how fast or how much pressure and exhaust is going through these engines. The 3350 is one of the most popular race engines over Reno as far as the radials go. Right now, the reigning world champion is a Rolls-Royce Merlin engine, and it's from right here in Shafter, California. That is race number 7, Strega, owned by Bill Tiger and Stephanie. Owned, maintained, and hangared right here in Shafter, California. It is the reigning world champion for the last several years. It's the winningest aircraft in air racing history. It's going to be flying for you in just a few minutes here in the hands of Mr. Steve Hinton. Again, race number 7. Strega is going to be in the air over 500 miles an hour. But right now, from the left at over 400 miles an hour, Mr. Corey Wells in the Racing Sea Fury Argonaut. We talked about Sea Furies and Furies. The Sea Fury has folding wings and a tail hook. Those were used for carrier operations. The Fury were a land-based aircraft that wingtips did not fold, and they didn't have a carrier tail hook because they did not need that for landing on the runways. Originally produced for the Royal Navy and Air Force of Great Britain, Hawker Sea Furies and Hawker Furies were also operated by Holland, Canada, Cuba, New Zealand, Australia, Burma, Iraq, Pakistan, as well as Naval and Air Force fighters from 1949 to the late 50s, and as target tugs in Germany until as late as 1975. Okay, get your cameras ready. The last pass, Mr. Corey Wells in Air Race Argonaut. As much as I do, I want each and every one of you to join me at Reno Race Week. Again, that's September 15th through the 17th, just north of Reno, Reno Stead Field, National Championship Air Races, Reno style, brought to us again this year by Breitling. So again, this is the 50th anniversary of the Reno Air Races. You don't want to miss it. If you haven't been there before, take the time to go over the hill. You will never forget it. The pits are open. You can go down. You can meet our pilots and planes up close and personal. We have some of the top aerobatic performers in the world will be there as well, because every time we have a race, we've got to bring those planes down on the ground. There's no dead time. When those planes are landing and the next class is getting up in the air, we've got some of the top aerobatic performers in the world will be filling the voids up here at Reno Race Week. And they're also going to have the Breitling Jetman. If you haven't heard about that, this guy's got a little small wing he straps to the back. It's got 2 jet engines. The Breitling Jetman will be flying at Reno this year, along with the world's fastest motorsport aircraft going over 500 miles per hour. National Championship Reno Air Races brought to us again this year by Breitling, September 15th through the 17th, Reno, Nevada. Now, I'm going to be throwing dates at you throughout the day here. If you would like to remember these dates or go home and write them down, go to my website, real easy to remember, wildthinairshows.com, www.wildthingairshows.com. Go to my website. I've got all these dates on there. We've got a lot of other things going on. We're going to be up in Marysville, California in about 2 or 3 weeks here doing the show up there. In Truckee, Tahoe. You guys are going to be in the Tahoe area, 4th of July weekend. Join us at the Tahoe Truckee Airport. We've got a show going on there, and I believe Melissa and Rex are going to be there, Melissa Pemberton and Rex Pemberton. And that's going to be the Truckee Tahoe Air Show. That is July 5th and 6th. Absolutely gorgeous setting right up there in the Lake Tahoe area. So if you're going to be around the Lake Tahoe area, join us there. We'll be up north after that. We're going to go to the EAA flying. We're going to be flying at the Arlington fly-in up in Arlington, Washington. And then, let's see, we've got the Reno Air Races in September, Reno Race Week. We've also got shortly after that in October, if you're from Southern California, we've got the Marine Corps Air Station Miramar show, a huge show down there. That's in San Diego. And then a little closer to us from there is Apple Valley, and that's the second week in October. So we've got a lot of shows in the area. So if, again, to get these dates, just when you get home later, go to my website, wildthingairshows.com, go to the schedule of events, and you'll see some of these dates, you'll be able to write them down. Plus, there's also links to these shows. You can go get more information just by clicking on the links at the date there. So again, hope you guys are having a great time.